Super Eagles of Nigeria, we have a new list for the game against Cameroon. From 31, it's been pruned to 24. We have so many players that are not there, but you also have some new inclusion in the squad. Some players were dropped because of, well, you say maybe club duties. But right now we have 24 lists that will be prosecuting the friendly game against Cameroon.
And one of those players definitely is Paul Onuachu. It's definitely going to be in action for Nigeria against the Cameroon. But the story about Paul Onuachu today is that he's been named the Player of the Year in the Belgian Pro League,
which is a fantastic one for this particular player, the Player of the Year in the whole of the league because of his monster performance this season. Also in the program, straight to the NBA, where the Denver Nuggets even the series despite a monster performance coming from Damian Lillard. It wasn't game time. He had 42 points and 10 assists, but then it just wasn't enough for him. He made 8 3-pointers by halftime. But then the Denver Nuggets won because Nikola Jokic, talking about MVP front runner, inspired the team to 38 points on 15 for 20 shooting on the night. It was big, it was huge.
Yes, so that series is now tied 1 apiece in the Western Conference.
All right. Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
I am Tayo Salam. Many thanks for joining us again. Okay, we're not starting from basketball. We leave the NBA just for a moment until the second half of the show. But before then, Cecilia, we have so much to go through, starting with the MOC AFN Invitational, track and field event that went down over the weekend.
Yes, of course, we're starting up with that one this morning. It wasn't really a good day for running for most of the athletes because of the rain. It was heavy and it was cold. So most of these athletes didn't really put up the performance they would have wanted. It started with the hurdles where Henry Okore, the doctor, of course, the medical doctor, he won the 400 meters hurdle in 52.02 seconds. Now, coming into this championship, he wanted to run a 50 at least to get Olympic qualification. He hasn't qualified for the Olympics yet, but he's just running different races he can to get that and be able to go to the Olympics. But this particular race, yes, he won it, but it wasn't what he wanted at the end of the day.
Not good for Henry, but it's got the job done. For a lot of these guys, they haven't raced in consistently for a long time because of COVID majorly. So every opportunity that they get, they want to try to qualify for the Olympics. That's Henry Okore getting to the finish line.
And he was shaking his head.
Yeah, because he hasn't met the standards.
That's all.
And they're running against time right now because the Olympics is just less than 2 months away. And
qualification ends in June.
There you go.
And with the AFN, you never can be sure what is coming up next. We know some athletes are actually in the US trying to qualify, but the ones here also want to get qualification standard and be able to go to the Olympics. Let's hear from Henry, talking about his timing and also his quest to get a ticket to the Olympic Games in Tokyo.
It's all about winning the race. It's about the time. It's an Olympic year, and you have to hit that standard. And, oh my God! But the time is not so there. And, but I thank God I came back without injuries. That means I have the opportunity to try again, and that is what I'm going to continue doing. Until hopefully I'll be able to hit it. Preparation coming here, I knew I was targeting at least a 50. I've done a 52 here, over a month to go. 2 weeks later, I did a 51 in Benin. So definitely the next target is 50 here. But coming out here this morning and seeing the rain or sizzling with cold breeze and everything, it was such a hindrance for me. Hopefully, this meeting will be having. No one is actually sure because it's unfortunate the kind of country we are in. There are no timetables, But I know the next big chance I have will be at the All Nigeria at the championship.
Yeah, that's what happened to Nigeria. Not even sure of your next event because of what the calendar sometimes may not just be working according to plans. But one thing is for sure, the national trials will definitely take place for athletes to be picked. And from the words of the sports minister says, every athlete will have to be part of it for them to get a ticket to the Olympic Games. And then you're going to ask, what about events where you have just maybe 2 athletes already qualified for the Olympics? Do they still need to come down here, especially if they are not based in Nigeria? We'll find out about that when the national trials hold. When is the national trials again? We don't know yet. Okay, let's
move on to
talk about another athlete. Yes.
Yeah, this time around, let's talk about the
110 meters hurdle.
110 meters hurdles. Yeah, as a very recent pictures are already coming out from that competition. The race was won by Abejoye Oyeni. Another timing where you'd say not the best, not the greatest timing in the world.
Yeah. He didn't even want to talk after it.
Still way off the Olympics qualification mark. But like I said, a lot of these guys are just glad to run, to race after a very, very, terrible season because of COVID mainly. And he didn't do too. I mean, the timing wasn't the best, but he's won the race. He can build on that going forward. And there were other athletes as well too. The guy that finished third,
Martins Ogereke, Martins Ogereke, I mean, after this race, he was actually holding his leg, the injury and all. We know he was out for almost 2 years, injured. So he came back prior to the National Sports Festival, before the other postponement, he was also injured. So right now, he's running consistently. He just wants to build on that consistent. He finished out with a time of 14.38 seconds. But the guy who won was 13.97 seconds to win him. Talking about Oyeniyi, he's been consistent over time. But these guys just want to make the Olympics and see how many competitions they can go to before they can make the standard. Martins, I mean, you ran a good race, but you finished second. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I did not feel bad. First of all, the weather was not in a good. We didn't run in a good condition because the weather was summer. And secondly, in between the race, I wanted to stop because I was feeling my leg. But I remember what my coach always said to me: no matter what, try and finish strong. Yeah, we have like 2 or 3 tournaments more to participate in. But this is Nigeria. We don't actually know the dates. Sometimes you are just training. You don't know when and where is the next competition. So sometimes it's affecting us. Not sometimes, it's affecting us because you training, your coach have drawn your program out and suddenly they'll postpone the next event. So you don't really know how to arrange yourself for the next event.
Being able to arrange yourself, arrange your events and see how you can qualify for Olympics. As Martins Ogereke there talking about his season so far. There are so many events that went there. He had the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the high jump. And of course, the high jump, Mike Edwards, obviously, he was the star of the show. As usual, the last MOC event, he won it. But at the National Sport Festival, he couldn't. He finished third. And because of that, well, the athletes who actually won at the National Sport Festival couldn't, because what happened to Edwards, he was flawless in all his jump, scaling a big season best of 2.23 meters. That's a season best, which is really a great one for him. Although he tried to attempt the 2.25 meters he had as his personal best in the last attempt, but he just couldn't do that. But then the good thing is at least he's back to winning ways, having a very, very good jump here.
You can say that again. Almost near flawless in all his jumps on the day. And at 2:15, which was the mark for the National Sports Festival, which he didn't win. He's actually gone here to shatter, that mark, jumping a season's best of 2.23 meters, his best since 2017. So this is an indication that he's starting to round into form. And although this mark is still way short of the Olympics qualification time, 10 centimeters short, But he can get enough confidence from this and try to get into perhaps 2-3 more events before the end of the qualification period and see if he can make the Olympics. But I have to admit that he's in a serious race against time as well.
Okay, you're seeing pictures from the long jump event where you have Ruth Agadama, you know, just found a way to win, leaping a mark of 5.96 meters. That's in the women's long jump. Not a good time that she had at National Sports Festival because she was able to jump 6 meters at the sports festival to finish behind, of course, S.A. Brume, perpetual winners when it comes to the long jump. She's also trying to get into the Olympics. And, of course, Precious Okoronkwo, you know, leapt to 5.90 meters to finish second, while Tina Sampson jumped 5.78 meters to take the third spot for the long jump event. As I mentioned earlier, so many events took place. You have the 100 meters where you have the usual suspects, you know, just winning it. Talking about the athletes who won at the National Sports Festival, Alaba, Kintola Alaba, he also won the 100 meters. There's so many other athletes that were around for the event, but then just there's a few we can bring you this morning because of time. Okay, Tayo, let's leave the track and field and go straight to tennis court, the table of it.
Tennis.
Yeah, table tennis.
Yes.
So what happened at the weekend? You know, the national championships is over, and of course we have the winners.
Yeah, we have our champions for the men's singles. It's no other than Real One Akombi of the Atinika Table Tennis Club, conquering some of the best players in the country on his way to win the men's singles title. He took on Mati Taiwo. That was in the final to emerge the new national champion. He had to rally from 2-0 down to beat Mati 4-3, 7-11, 8-11, 11-6, 11-6, 11-9, 8-11, and 11-9. That was the marathon, of the final. And of course, the fans at the Molade Okoya Thomas at the Testing Balogun Stadium were very delighted with this particular matchup, and you can see the celebrations at the end. That's what it means to him, you know, emerging champion of this competition. This guy, you know, came, you know, to limelight a few years ago, but his career hasn't had the progression that we thought he would have, and so this is pretty much a return to form for Akombi and Real One. So congratulations to him. The women's singles as well too went down, and this time around it was
Fatima Bello.
There you go.
Dominance in women's
continues.
Singles. And she just continued dominating everyone, putting up a good performance, and then was able to get her victory. In the last two tournaments, she's the best player in Nigeria, and of course she has a convincing win, 4-1 over Bose Odusoya.
Bose Odusoya, that was in the women's singles final, 15-13, 11-9, 8-11, 11-5, and 11-1. So it's pretty much straightforward victory as expected for Fatima Bello. Congratulations to both of them. Let's take their thoughts now after they emerged champions at the National Tennis Championships.
I never believed I could win it. Though I trained for it, even during the Ramadan period, I also trained, and because I know this kind of tournament is going to occur, so I trained for it. Even while fasting, I trained, and I know it's God that crown efforts. But I know I tried my best to win the tournament, and I'm so very happy. When I was down 2 games, so I have to tell myself that even if I will lose, I'll still have to play my best. Because I believe me down in 2-0, I have not played the best of me. So I have to okay, let me turn the game around by attacking him first. Because the last time we played, I knew that I attacked him from beginning to the end, and I won. But this time around, though I wanted to attack from the beginning, but he's more faster than me. So that's why when I'm down, so I have to call myself back and try to attack before he attacks. Because he's very good in attacking, and I believe attacking him first is an advantage for me.
This wasn't easy. It just looked like it's easy. But I lost to her in the team event. So I talked to my coach and I asked him what happened, why did I lost the team game to her? And he was like, I have to attack if I want to win. So the singles, I was Like, I was very prepared to win.
Three-time defending champion.
Yeah,
back to
she
back.
kept winning it.
Congratulations.
But I just want to see how she can, take it a notch higher, going for international tournaments. And the basic one is Tokyo Games.
Yeah, so that's the next step for
Olympics.
Fatima Bello. I mean, when you have dominated the home front for a long time, you need to now take it to the next level.
All right, let's listen to the tournament director talking about how impressive he was with everything that went down during the national championships.
The team had worked very hard for this to happen, especially coming from the National Sport Festival, and then the ASO tournament in Abuja. So this is back-to-back, but we felt we have to do this because we need to harvest the new players, that are just coming into the system. And as you can see, everybody is happy. We are happy. We have our records now, and we are planning for the next one. The under-21 was played by Taiwo Mati. Men's singles was played by Taiwo Mati. And if you look at the cadet junior, you saw Samuel Boboye, that most of you have not seen before. And then you saw Kuti from Ikorodu, that is relatively unknown. And then you saw the young girl from Calabar. We've had scores of new talents that are coming up. Yes, they're coming up, and then we know what to do. We need to harvest them. Those that are at the cadet level, we need to have coaches and time for them to have trainings with experienced coaches so that they can be prepared for the next level. For those that are under 21, we need to prepare them for the senior level. And as you can know, Nigeria is passing through the transition period. And at this time, we need to work harder. We are thinking of having like 4 competitions before the year runs off. And this is one of the 4 that we plan. In the next 1 month, we're going to have top 16 invitational tournaments. By August, we are thinking of having West African invitation tournament, and then another one to round up for the year. This is the only way we can make our talents, we can make our players war ready.
Yes, of course, so many tournaments. They have 3 more this year.
For the year.
Of course, that's a good one.
Because there's a war out there, truly, with all the Chinese and all the Asian table tennis players. You got to be ready.
Guys are something. And the Egyptians in Africa, too.
In Africa, exactly. So you got to be battle ready for this table tennis competitions. Let's go on from table tennis now. Let's quickly talk basketball.
Yeah.
Elite Basketball League, the league that was organized by Nigerian players who got fed up of waiting for the NBBF to resurrect the top division, the top flight league. We saw over the weekend as well too, the Future Stars are taking part in an under-15 exhibition game. Cecilia, and I have to say, the talents, basketball talent in this country is just immense. It's huge. Under 15, truly under 15 players, because these guys look really, really, really young. I mean,
yeah.
And it was good to see them enjoying themselves and just playing and showcasing their talents. And hopefully there were some scouts actually, on ground, and these guys might just get the opportunity to play for one of the Premier League sides in the nearest future.
Yeah, one of the Premier League sides, and also if they have opportunity, travel abroad, get scholarship, go to school, and maybe someday you just see one of them in the NBA. It happens. And it's a mixture of boys and girls in under 15, so at this stage they feel they have the same strength, so because of that they had to be together. But we need to go on a break, and when we come back, hopefully you can listen to Bolaji talking about this particular championship and the exhibition game.
A few players since the league started, and we've been able to find some great talent, and our plan is to, because there have been no game running in, there have been no basketball game running in Nigeria for quite a while, so our plan is to help guys get a quality video of their games, so that they can probably send to scout or send to schools abroad, probably to take them to the next level or something. We are definitely going to have a second edition. We don't know when that is going to come up, but definitely we're going to have a second edition. And of course, like I said, it's the maiden edition. We don't really have all the support that we need yet, but hopefully by the second edition, would have gotten all this, support and sponsorship that we need to run the second edition.
All right, we're done with the basketball elite championships. Of course, let's delve into the NBA, what's going on. And we have Shemilore Adenikon who's joining us this morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Nice to be here again.
Yeah, you're smiling because the playoffs, the real playoffs is here. Yeah, the playoffs. I think I actually love it to continue because I love it. Yeah, they're playing.
It's not a bad idea.
I know LeBron will not be happy, but I actually
but it depends on next season, how next season shapes up. If they still have to shorten the season, then they might have to keep the playing. But anyways, we're in the playoffs now. This is where the legends are actually made. I mean, you can play in the NBA, but if you don't stamp your authority, make your mark in the playoffs, then you really...
there's nothing to show for it. Yeah,
exactly.
There's nothing to show for it.
There will be no ring.
This is where it really matters now. This is the home straight of the tournament. This is the part that really counts. The part people remember. The regular season is more so an exhibition. That's why over years they always try to glamorize it. But this is the part that really counts.
This is where you have the real players, right?
Let's go into it and give you the results of the two games that were played last night, very late last night and early this morning. The Miami Heat are in a bit of a trouble. Yes, because they're now in a 2-0 hole against the Milwaukee Bucks, 132-98. That's how that matchup ended.
24 points blowout.
All right, it was a blowout. There you go. And the second game of the night was between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets are right back in the series, tying it 1 apiece after a 128-109 victory. Of course, Nikola Jokic made sure that happened. All right, Shinora, let's go straight to the Nuggets and how they were able to rebound.
That was a very, very good game. Well, now they're tied, but if you look at the first game and you compare it to the second game, the Denver Nuggets really, in the first quarter, they really let Dame Lillard shoot. They weren't closing him down on the three. I think he dropped 9 3-pointers in that first half, 32 points within the first half as well. Second half, Mike Malone really said to Aaron Gordon to stay on Dame Lillard, and he wasn't getting his threes off as easily as before. Nuggets, I think they're a well-run team. It's not pretty to watch, but they're very, very efficient because they can score many type of ways. Nikola Jokic with the rebounds, he's very... Now without
Jamal,
thank you. Now without Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic has to get the rebounds and facilitate the offense as well. So their pieces really come together well. Michael Porter Jr. putting up 18 points. Aaron Gordon as well putting up around 11 points. They were fantastic, and now leveling up the game. I think they finished 4th or 3rd in the West.
Yeah, 4th. Third seeded. Nuggets are 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd, and they got to the finals last year. So. I wouldn't say they're favorites to come out of the West, but we expect them not to go out to the Portland Trail Blazers. But it was a fantastic game of basketball, and leveling up the series 1-1. It was a good watch. It was a good watch last night.
Yeah, good watch indeed. And like you said, Damian Lillard was on fire, especially in the first half. 32 points, but they had to slow him down with Aaron Gordon. Let's take the post-match thoughts of the two standout players on the night, Nikola Jokic and Damian Lillard.
We played really good. I think when they started kind of picking up the aggressiveness, I think we did it too, and we kind of meet the aggressiveness. Maybe we were a little bit higher, but we were still controlling it. Probably you have seen the dog who barks doesn't bite. So, I mean, we just need to go out there and fight, you know. So that was the feeling on the court, you know. We never gave up. I mean, even when the Dame had a really get going, we stayed together, and we were just fighting through, you know. So, and we won the game.
Just a bigger defender. You know, taller guy, more athletic. That's it, just a bigger body. But, you know, I'm used to that. Usually, I mean, throughout the regular season, you know, whoever their defensive wing or taller wing is, you know, that's who guards me. Just like the Phoenix game, Mikal Bridges guarded me. I don't know, Golden State, Kelly Oubre guards me. Like, I've always, you know, went up against a bigger wing. That was an adjustment that they went to in the second half. You know, but I just think they gave me more attention, you know, more so than it was just one guy. I'm never going against one guy. You know, it's the playoffs. You know, every game is going to be different, and I said it after the first game. It's going to be much harder to win the second game, you know, to start a playoff series. And, you know, they were going to adjust. They were going to come out and play with more energy, be more physical, and, you know, just try to bring a little bit more fight to us. And, you know, it was as expected. You know, but I think our turnovers, we had 6 turnovers in the first game, and tonight I think we had 6 turnovers in the first half of the first quarter or the first 8 minutes of the first quarter. So I think that showed that, you know, they had more of a presence and more of an effect on our offense. You know, and they just brought energy to the game.
42 big points on the night, but not enough thanks to the adjustments made at halftime. Aaron Gordon is 6'9" tall.
Yeah.
Gordon is 6'2" point guard.
It was all over him, everywhere.
Yes,
he couldn't make any move at all in that second half.
Him down. But the good thing
he could have dropped 50 or even 60 the way he was going.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
the way he started.
Yeah.
8
Anyways,
3-pointers at halftime.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
9 in total.
Only Vince Carter have done that.
Yeah. 9 of 16 from three-point range. Incredible. So, but the good news is it's still 1-0 and there's still all to play for in the series. Let's quickly touch on Miami and the Bucks, Shani. 2-0 hold now for last year's Eastern Conference champions.
Eastern Conference champions. Giannis let's go Adetokounmpo since we're in Nigeria. No, Adetokounmpo. Adetokounmpo, that's his big name.
When you're in Nigeria.
31 points in 31 minutes.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The Bucks as a whole, not a team traditionally that you're always banking on them sinking their threes, but they were raining so many in that first quarter, and it took Miami a long time to get out of the stalls. Really, I think at one point it was 10. They went in the first half. They went in the first 2-3 minutes, went 10-2, and then from then on, the Bucks just kept expanding the lead and expanding the lead. I felt like the Miami Heat were a bit tired. I don't know what to put it down to. Jimmy Butler only 10 points.
Yeah, because you know when you're playing against a team that is shooting from anywhere, 22 3-pointers anywhere they are, they're just taking shots.
Miami's philosophy is hustle and just working hard, and it's quite tiresome against a Bucks that is playing well, because the Bucks is a very, very big team. A lot of tall players, a lot of wingspan, and defensively they're quite solid. So I felt like Miami just ran out of steam. Bam 18 points. 16 points, sorry, which is okay, but you need Jimmy to really put up more. But we'll call that just a blowout. We'll call it a one-off.
Of course, it was a blowout.
It was a blowout because they lost the first game by 3 points. 2 points, right? And the second one, 34.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll leave it there.
Chris Middleton to score that very
and they went to overtime. They even went to overtime.
Exactly. So these are two victories couldn't be more different, and Miami will need to step up. They don't want to go 3-0 down against the Bucks. Let's just leave it that way. Of course, before we leave
I think they will.
Yeah, we'll see. But they don't. They can't afford to. Before I talk performance quickly, shout out to Precious and Gabe Vincent. They were also in action. They got some minutes for Miami, but just 3 points on the night. Jordan Nwora, 5 points
shout out
of the bench. They were in action.
We have a shout out when you have double figures, right?
Doesn't
now Nikola Jokic, 38, 8 and 5 on the night. Yes, the big man turned up, and of course he gave them that. And of course, Dame Time, 42, 4 and 10, but he lost. Giannis, 31 in 31 minutes, great, 13 and 6.
So
that's the big boys.
Yes.
Let's quickly go to Basketball Africa League. Yeah, we have the final 8 and the seeding, how it's going to happen. So it's safe to say that MSM will definitely win this, because if you just check who are they playing against?
Come on, you can't just say
tired the quarterfinals fixtures. Let's just have it. Once you see the quarterfinal fixtures, you understand what I'm saying. These guys are just
still some very good
sail
teams
through and get into the finals, and then
there's still some very good teams left in the
competition. Who managed to through the back door and get here.
The AFC, they managed to just get through the back door. But Monastir, again, the favorites, like everyone knows. The fantastic, well-run organization, well-run football club as well as basketball club. But yeah, I don't expect, now that Rivers Hoopers are out, I've just lost so much enthusiasm in this tournament.
So Shamila, let's just have a look at this pairings for the quarterfinals. FAP, Zamalek was going through. I think Zamalek should do enough to get through.
Yes, Zamalek should do enough to go through. Yeah.
And AS Saleh versus Petro Luanda. AS Saleh from Morocco and Petro from Angola.
I think AS Saleh from recent form.
Yeah, recent. That's the thing, because
AS Saleh,
even though Petro a 3rd seed and Saleh a 6th seed, recent form, so she said Saleh, because I can't call that one. I honestly can't call that one.
That's a tight one. AS Duanes and US Minister of Course.
Definitely, that's just the last one.
Maputo
and Patriots. With Joko still playing.
Yeah, Joko's still there. Patriots are good. The Patriots are good, but good enough to win? No. If they go out in this, if they go out in this phase, considering they're hosting the tournament in Rwanda, it will be a disappointment. So I expect them to get through that. They should get through that. Yes.
Okay. All right, then. Still talking the ball, and incidentally, you just mentioned his name a couple of seconds ago. What do you make of J. Cole's involvement in the ball and all of that?
It is it's fantastic that he's involved. He's living his dream, but I feel like everyone's saying, oh, he can just walk into the league and it's just that easy to play African basketball. But we also benefit from J. Cole being in there because of... we also benefit... It brings attention and lights, and it brings the cameras, it brings eyes to the tournament, and all these things about who's watching. And people tune in to Patriots games to see J. Cole as well. So
it's a positive.
I think it's a positive on both ends. I think it's a positive on both ends.
All right then. So, but there's a player who's saying the minds, I believe, of a lot of people. His name is Tyrell Stoglin. He's American. He's the first guy to score 40 points in this competition, and he's averaging 31 points per game in the tournament. He's had a lot to say about J. Cole, pretty much saying his involvement, his presence, is disrespectful to the other players. And I'm going to take his quotes now quickly and you get your reaction. Shemi, I live in the basketball world. I don't live in the fan world. I know a lot of the guys that have had their careers stopped by COVID and they're still home working out and training for an opportunity like this. For a guy who has so much money and has another career to just come here and average like 1 point a game and still get glorified is very disrespectful to the game. It's disrespectful to the ones who have sacrificed their whole lives for this. Tyrell Stoglin is solid God.
That's very
strong words.
Very strong words, and it's very, very interesting. But for me, it's a very salty comment, and
why? Salty?
Yeah, it's a very salty comment because how many people is J. Cole being in this league? How many people did it block? Okay, maybe
it's just one
or two. Okay, fine, but. Without J. Cole being in this league, those of you in the league playing are benefiting from the amount of fans he's bringing. And these things, you can't judge them monetarily, but we know this league has caught action because everyone's like, oh, J. Cole's playing basketball. That first game against Rivers, everybody wanted to see what everybody knows that he dropped 4 points or 3 points, and and you search to see his highlights and how he would perform because we see him in the celebrity all-star games, but seeing him play professionally, I think that comment is salty and it's just a bit distasteful. But
to be fair to Tyrell, though, he's spoken about the positive side as well too. You can tell. Anyways, that's it for the ball. Of course.
Yeah, because I know Ty is gonna go on.
No, I'm going on.
So let's leave J. Cole and see what he can do. In the next game against Maputo.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, let's talk about the Super Eagles revised list. Yeah, I mean the coach came up with 31 at first. I'm like, we're playing a friendly game. Why 31? Because you don't have time to see them. But right now, I mean, he is, of course, he's the coach, so that's why he's being paid a lot of money, so he can have all the headaches and all. But then he has, I know, I mean, putting it down to 24
the team now to
24, and there's no reasons for that. But I think maybe because of those other players,
they just haven't said it.
That's what I'm saying. He did not give us the reasons for that. Okay, now there you have the goalkeepers we have now. Francis Zoho, John Noble of Enyimba, then you have Maduka Okoye. These are the three goalkeepers we have. Let's flip over to where you have the defenders. Chidozie Awanziem is there, Williams Trustekong, Olaoluwa Aino, Jamil Collins, Tyrone Ebue, and Valentine Ozawanfo is also part of the defenders. He plays in Turkey. Then also continuing with the players in Turkey, Oghenenkare Tebo, you have Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City, Abdullah Isheu of Nicosia in Cyprus, Frank Oyeka of Midtjylland, he's also part of it, and Abraham Marcos of Firenze in Portugal is also part of the midfielders. And you go straight to the forwards where you have like a whole lot of players. Ahmed Musa is there, Alex Iwobi, Peter Olayinka is there, Victor Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho, Moses Simon, Anayo Iwala of Enyimba is there. Tyrone Murphy is getting into it because he's been wonderful in France for Lorraine. They also have Paul Onuachu, and of course that's the best player right now in Belgium and also in Nigeria. Simi Nwankwo is also there from Cotonou in Italy. So these are the players for Cameroon, and there have been a lot of discussions. People actually saying that we're playing against Cameroon. It's a friendly game. Why use your first team players? These guys just finished, the league in Europe. Why not allow them to rest and pick other players, give opportunity to? But hey, when you're playing Cameroon, you want to use your best team because the bragging rights, it's always there. Rights, yes. What do you make of this?
It's a very fierce rivalry, and I understand it's a friendly, but it's never really a friendly with Cameroon. The team selection is quite interesting. How we're blessed with so many forwards. We can literally make an outfield squad with just all the forwards playing. Yeah. But I'm not really shocked. Obviously, Chukwueze, his injury question, injury doubt. So you don't really want him playing in a friendly game. I'm shocked Shemi Ajayi didn't get picked though from West Bromwich. I'll be honest. West Brom, Shemi Ajayi. I'm shocked he didn't really get picked, but. aside that, I'm not really.
Onyekuru also is not there.
Onyekuru as well. Aribo as well.
Yeah, Joseph Aribo is also not in the squad.
Some notable omissions from the first list is Umar Sadiq of Ameria. Of course, Ameria is still playing Secunda. He actually scored last night for Ameria, still trying to qualify there. A few other players as well too. Kenneth Omero,
of course, also battling that.
Because it's a friendly. Because it's friendly. I don't want to overreact.
Okay,
no,
so
let's
leave it.
Yeah, because it's just a friendly. But
I see a few people.
But also because it's Cameroon, it's just like.
But sometimes you want to ask the question: did you not know that these players are still trying to get their team to qualify into the top flight? Why did they send them invitation in the first place? Discussion for another day.
They released a list. There were no invitations.
Where the players
they just released the list. Now,
no invitation
has been
sent.
pruned to 24. Now they will send the invitation. That's how things work. Let's get on with the show now, Cecilia. We're making a mountain out of a molehill.
No, I'm not. Let's talk about quickly Paul Onwuachi, of course. The man of the moment is the player of the year in Belgium. I mean, he's been fantastic. Monster goals. I mean, he could have been the best. Save for Lewandowski, who is a goal machine.
I'm happy he's getting his coverage. I want it to be more European coverage. Obviously, we're covering him because he's one of our own. But I want him to get more coverage.
European player of the year or something?
Yeah, he's got no European player of the year, but Belgium,
top scorer in Europe.
Yeah, he's one of the top scorers in Europe and dominated the Belgian league. I want him to get a move to a more glamorous league, a league where it's one of the top 5 leagues. Yes, even Simi as well, Simi Wanko, he got relegated with Crotone, but Florentina, Florentina and other teams are rumbling around. He's in the shop window as well. I would like Paul to be there as well.
Of course.
After a fantastic year.
Of course. 33 goals last season. Not only that, won trophies as well too. Won the Belgian Cup with Ghent, and you have to say his days are numbered in the Belgian Pro League. This award that was voted for by his fellow players. They don't come more satisfying than
forwards are in great form.
In
great form right now.
Incredible form, Cecilia. We're going to have to go on a break.
Yeah, okay, we have to go on a break, but we'll come back quickly. We'll talk about Europa League quickly and the trophy that everyone, clubs like Tottenham.
Europa put the Conference League, so they wait a new competition.
I'm so happy we didn't qualify.
After this break, and of course, there's still so much when we talk about Nigerian Professional Football League. That's the NPFL. We'll talk about that after this break. Okay, before we touch down on the Europa Conference League. Sorry, I got it right this time, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Europa Conference League. Let's quickly touch down the Nigerian Professional Football League. Quickly, just talk about the game that went down on Monday. Aqua United and Rangers. Aqua United, of course, used that opportunity to go back to the top of the table. That's what the fact that it was a goalless game. So right now they are back being ahead based on goal difference. So Rangers, of course, got a point of Aqua United at home that ended goalless. And the other one, the game between MFM and Lobby Stars that ended 1-1. Yeah, we don't have too much time for that.
That was over the weekend.
Over the weekend.
Over the weekend, yeah. But that's what the table looks like now, the updated table. Aqua United returning to the top despite a goalless draw against Rangers. Cecilia, guys, it's still a very long way to go. Just 22 games in, 16 to go. So we're in for a very exciting, rest of the Nigerian Professional Football League. You can stick to us with all the updates. All right, let's come now and talk about Cecilia's favorite competition, UEFA Europa Conference League. Just when you thought there's too many games on Thursdays and who wants to watch all these games,
maybe this would be Friday.
There's actually on Thursday.
Yeah, keep it on Thursday.
In addition to more games for us to watch.
But anyways, we're saying that's the brand new UEFA Europa Conference League trophy, standing at 57.5 centimeters tall and weighs 11 kg. The trophy consists of 32 hexagonal spines, one for each team in the group stage of the competition, twisting and curving from the base.
Twisting and curving because they want to let the players know that that's how far you're going to travel.
184 teams, including at least one from each of UEFA's 55 associations, will compete for places in 30-team group stages. 46 clubs will also be transferred into it from the Champions League and Europa League. Now, this is a competition.
It will feature 8 groups of 4 teams, followed by knockouts, round playoffs, and the round of 16 quarterfinals, of course, all the way to the final on May the 25th in Tirana, Albania. Tirana sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Tirana
in the BC, yes.
So this is why they've done this competition for teams like KF Tirana and all those other teams that get knocked out by the wayside trying to get into UEFA Champions or even Europa League. This is why they've done this competition
for them.
And Shemi, I know a few Arsenal fans of mine who are glad.
So happy.
They didn't get into this
competition. But why is that? You guys are not even in a position to be
and that's
snobbish.
fine.
184 teams are tired.
Yeah, but why are you being snobbish?
But it's a lose. The thing is, it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose for Arsenal because if Arsenal win that tournament, you laugh at us. If we win, you laugh. If we lose, you laugh. And we don't want to travel. We don't want to. We don't want to travel.
We don't
want to go to the places we haven't heard before. And a lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of us, obviously not us here, but the faithful, we have to follow the team. So they have to be booking hotels and going to these places. No, we don't want. We don't want
that.
So Tottenham, go and represent.
UEFA President Alexander Seferin has been justifying the formation of this competition.
We want to make our competitions more inclusive, to give clubs and fans the chance to dream and compete for European honors. This is why we created the UEFA Europa Conference League. We have 55 national associations who make up UEFA, and it is important to give clubs from as many federations the chance to prolong their European campaigns for as long as possible. This competition is for everybody, but especially those clubs who would not normally have a realistic chance of winning the UEFA Champions League or the UEFA Europa League. The UEFA Europa Conference League will also give more players the chance to experience European football, which can only help with their football development. It will also give more supporters from across the continent the opportunity to watch their clubs play against other top teams from other countries. This competition is all about inclusivity, and it is important that we support clubs from all our national associations.
Alexander Seferin, that's UEFA President, justifying the formation of the UEFA Europa Conference League. It's all about inclusion. All right, guys, so let's not complain.
Okay, not the exclusion of the Super League. Yeah, I get that.
All right, let's get on with the show. We're in a race against time now. Let's quickly talk about the bombshell from Spain.
Luis Enrique. I love that manager. That's the manager after my heart.
Really?
Just make a decision. Whatever happens. No Real Madrid player. Yeah, it's fine. But Sergio Ramos, your captain, is not going, and you have opportunity to pick 26 players. You picked 24, and you justify the fact that, well, yeah.
Let's see what Enrique had to say, trying to justify the reason why Ramos has been dropped. Is that his reasons? Cecilia, whether you agree
he played
with
fewer games, he didn't have time to train, injuries, he's not been fit.
Cecilia.
Okay, I would like to make a special mention to Sergio Ramos, our captain, who have decided not to include him in the list and will not be coming to European tournaments. Clearly, it is because he's not been able to play much this season, especially since January. He's not been fit enough, and at times not even training with the group at his club. That's him. And Sergio Ramos, right?
Okay. One of the best defenders. One of the best defenders in the last decade, over a decade.
He's not currently injured.
He's not currently injured, but I feel like that excuse is just an excuse. It doesn't warrant leaving him out of the national team, because Spain is not the Spain that we used to know. It's not Spain. It's not the Spain of old. They're looking at the team now, and there's no real stars there. Maybe Thiago's the biggest name there, and there's nothing really there. So you got to take him in terms of his leadership, what he can offer off the pitch, as well as what he can't do on the pitch. But yeah, him not going. No one expects Spain to win the Euros this season. And
if they're winning, Luis Enrique's exclusion will be justified. But if it doesn't, he's in trouble. Let's take two or three tweets for a look at the papers. Noble Flyerman says is he talking about Europa League? Europa League is coming home. Chukwueze is still young. He can try another time. UEFA Conference League seemed like a joke to me, but I believe it will be fine-tuned going forward. Okay.
Ejike says Stoglin's comments were from a jealous heart. If J. Cole was selected by the coach, then that's it. That is what he's paid to do. Select players. Doesn't have to give his reasons. The coach has already said is there for basketball reasons alone.
That's what he said.
That's all.
Okay, yeah.
For the Sweets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me quickly take Law Alpha if we see after time. Law Alpha says Enugu Rangers have a team. The Promise Keepers tried to outwit them yesterday, but they had their own and got a point. If Eimba loses tomorrow to Ricky Torres, who were routed over the weekend, he should go from there, as numerous Eimba fans are not happy. He's talking about our coach, Fatah Osho.
Ouch.
All right, that's really harsh. Papers, Sporting Sun, and start off with that one. You have Lewandowski scoops European Golden Shoe Award. Yes, Paul Onuachu was actually in running for this, but he couldn't get up to that.
When you goes in the German Bundesliga.
Yeah, just take it.
Yeah.
Okay, just take it. All right, drops 8 Super Eagles players. We've talked about that already. And of course, Sevilla joins queue for Paul Onuachu. Hazard ponders court price Chelsea's return. Will Chelsea want him? I don't think so.
All right, complete sport. Napoli sack Gattuso.
Of course, he was going to go after that.
He was always going to go.
Boggling it.
Maguire named the United's 26-man squad. Of course, Sevilla chase Onuachu. Indeed, the rules are Fox's Champions League miss. Tyson Fury insists I will still fight Joshua in
2013, 2023.
But he says this year on paper.
I think AJ or Femi, as we call him.
Yeah,
Femi, he's really angry at Tyson Fury right now. His camp, just how unprofessional the whole thing was. I don't think he can fight him this year. I don't think he can fight him this year.
2023, right?
Yeah, I think it's next.
Next 2 years.
Yeah, 22, but 2022 maybe. But I don't think he can fight because just AJ is quite angry at him right now.
2023, they should
Wasted
fight at that time.
And most importantly, these two guys have to navigate their upcoming opponents. AJ against Alexander Usyk and Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury. They still have to
and what if Deontay Wilder beat Tyson Fury? He doesn't
possible.
have the belt anymore.
It's possible.
So we're talking about
it's possible.
Well, you're going to get the bout. The unification
Takes one punch.
It's not going to happen again. Our complete sports is the next one. Omar, Sadiq, Omaru, all of them, they're out of the team that will be playing against Cameroon. Yeah, for obvious reasons. Indeed, loses top tackler award for second season in a row. If you don't get a trophy, so what's the point? The trophy is more important than any of that in Tuchel. Hopeful Mendy will be fit for Champions League final. He's sweating on him, sweating on Kante. He's in trouble. No Real Madrid players in the spell. Of course, we talked about that. Yeah, Joe Willock confirms Arsenal return. Yeah, it was brilliant for Newcastle. But we have to leave the studio now. Thank you so much, Amy, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me once again.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.